Greens one and all, how's everyone doing? I hope well. Here's part 2, kind of going over and explaining my thought process for my 12 C's of camping and hiking. I mean, obviously I used the 10 C's as a basis, but then I just expanded on it, but I wanted to explain a little bit more. And also open up any questions, comments. We can get some back and forth going. Let me guys know what you think. We can discuss. I haven't gone over cutting tools because that didn't change, but I can always switch out a knife to a different one. That's no problem. Like I said in the first video, you know, these things aren't set in stone. So for instance, I have this Mylar. What this is a emergencies essentials sleeping bag. And you know, I commented that in another video I didn't think this would be good for me. And the reason I thought that is simply because this is made in China. So I'm 5'11" and way too many pounds. So I don't think I would even fit in this bag. Because I don't think they make big and tall emergency gear. Which, you know, just another way to, you know, to hate on anyone who's fat. Because, like, we're not going to make gear that fits you. So I still have it, and I commented it wouldn't work, but then I saw a video that Jay Richmond had did, and he's actually lives here in Washington as well. I've never met him. He's part of the Bushcraft USA gang guys. I mean gang in a good way, not in, like, you know, Crips and Bloods. He actually, like, literally not soon after I posted that video saying this wouldn't work for me, he posted a video, just completely blew what I said out of the air. And what he did, he actually only had like 8 items, and he went out, he had like an SAK, he had some cordage, he had an emergency blanket, and he had very minimal gear. But what he did is he just, what I would have to do is open this up and actually use my knife and cut it open all the way. And he just put up he actually took 2 logs and then filled it with like dirt, moss, leaves, and some boughs, and made a bed, and then just took the tarp and hung it over his shelter like an A-frame. And I was looking at this guy going, oh, yeah, because it would catch the heat. So just my whole argument, oh, this wouldn't work, and he just destroyed it. He probably never even saw my video, but I'm like, okay, well, maybe you could make it work, but by stringing it up. But also what I added a grabber space blanket as well, because these aren't super heavy, and every corner on these, I believe every corner, I'll have to open it up, but has pre-tied paracord for tie downs and whatnot. I'll have to really open this up, because what I'm going to do is I want to get out and do some practice shelter setups. So I got a space blanket, a grabber space blanket to go along with this. But I've also still got the Country River Products ground sheet, and also their poncho, because obviously the poncho, I could wear it over my body and I would be covered and not getting as wet, although your sleeves still kind of get a little wet, but you know, you can just tuck them underneath. And then the ground sheet, because like I've stated, you know, the ground is very wet. If I lay down on the ground, my clothes would just soak up all the water, and you don't want that, because then you get hypothermic. And then I also threw in this fleece blanket. Now this thing is not a big blanket. It's not heavy, but it's not, it'd cover at least my core, maybe, you know, bring it up to my neck or cover my head, but my feet would be sticking out. Because I've looked at sleeping bags, but they don't make sleeping bags for big and tall people, or a fat guy like me. I mean, let's just say it. They don't really make sleeping bags for fat guys. So if I was to overnight with these items, I would have to have a big fire going the entire night, which means I'm gonna be waking up every time the fire dies down, because I would get cold again. And I know that for a fact, because I actually did an overnighter where I actually took a wool blanket with me, and I was still cold at night, and as soon as the fire died down, I'd wake up cold, and we'd have to get up every couple hours and restoke the fire. It would warm up enough, we'd go back to sleep. I still have the Cordage kit. I should do a breakdown of this. I might just open this and show you everything in here, because I didn't really do that. I just mentioned I had it. Some things I didn't show. I still have the same candling devices. Still got the same. So let's open this up so you can see the whole content. Yeah. Compass. Of course, I gotta pack all this up before I go home, but it's all right. Okay. Now, okay. This is actually just I don't think these are on his webpage, but when I ordered something from Malcolm, he actually sent me this. This is actually Hidden Woodsman. I think it was one of his prototypes. I just threw in a bunch of cords, hanks. I got paracord, several hanks. I kind of wish now I'd never cut my paracord, because, but I got 3 big hanks. I think these are 50 footers. And then I've got 6 of these tent stakes for staking down the corners and the middle if I need to, in case it's windy. Then I just like threw in a bunch of small hanks. Some of these are really tiny, like this one here, probably 20 feet, if that. And I got some bank line in here, just some small hanks for like corner tie outs. I got this blue cordage. I don't even remember putting that in there, but hey, you know, cordage is cordage. I got this longer one and this one here, so I could do a ridge line, 2 corner tie outs. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This might be a bit bigger hank. This one I know is a little bit bigger because it's thicker. I've got fairly good size hanks of cordage, plus the tent stakes. Now you can carve tent stakes, but I kind of looked at it as the time and calories I'd save by having them versus having to go and make some. You know, because I do have a saw and I do have a knife. I could make tent stakes, but by having them I can simply get my shelter going, stake my shelter out, and immediately start working on fire and firewood, and not have to sit there carving and then, you know, putting them in the fire to dry them and everything else, and then get my shelter going. I can just drive them in, get them going. And these are those titanium lightweight stakes. They're really not that heavy. I figured the trade-off was worth the calories burned carrying them. So, and then they got that little bit of reflective. This is actually some reflective cords, so at night hopefully they'll pop and someone will see and go, hey, what's that? Plus I got the Uco lantern I'd probably keep going, and also like I said, I was EDC a flashlight as well, so if I can get the damn thing out. Here we go. So I always carry the Woobin flashlight. I did a review on this. Good little flashlight. I carry it every day, so it's part of my daily EDC. So this is a little cover likes to pop off. So I totally forgot because I had it off to the side, but I have still have the Cascade Mountain Tech inflatable sleeping pad. And as I mentioned in the first time, the main reason for, well, there's several reasons for having it. One, of course, is you can sleep on it so you're off the ground. Excuse me. But you can also hang the bag up as a signaling device because it's got cordage. And I have cordage. So I can just hang it on a branch of a tree as well, or prop up a long branch and just hang it up. So they get a big orange banner hanging up along with the Hidden Woodsman signal panel saying, hey, I'm here. But the one side is black on this, but the bottom side, the other side is orange. So I could prop it up against a tree, which I want to show in a future video, or I can inflate it partly. And I was thinking with the why do I have it? I should have some duct tape, a little bit of cargo tape, gorilla tape. I could actually like wrap it around the tree and just like tape it up to a tree. So it would actually give me a 360, hey, here I am. So sleeping pad also included. So, and of course when I'm not signaling with it, I could be laying on top of it trying to get some sleep. So, ground cover, above cover, warm cover, backup warm cover, and then over the body cover. And I'd probably in these winter temperatures, I'd probably still be cold, but I'd have to cut a metric ton of firewood and just keep the fire going all night. And I'd probably actually try to do a long fire just to keep warm. So it would be a sucky night's sleep, but you know, you do what you have to, I guess, right? All right, I did find my tape, so I did have it. My cloth sail needle is still in the back of my Bushcraft Black, and I found my Uco spork as well. And my reasoning for the spork is the same as the tent stake. Instead of spending the calories and time carving a spoon, which, you know, you do that during recreation, but by not having to carve one, I save time, calories, and energy by having one. So, and it hardly weighs a thing. And then under the C for care, I've got first aid kit. And, you know, the thing is, you know, these are, you know, they have a stop bleeding section, medication, cuts and scrapes, and wound care, burn, and blister. But the thing is, you know, your first aid, well, you know, well, if I was hurt, you know, maybe I could, you know, cut a corner of my bandana and slap a piece of tape on it. But when you come across somebody else, I mean, you find them hurt, you know, what are you going to say to them? Oh, let me slap some duct tape on there for you. Or you can just bust out an actual first aid kit. You know, they might feel better too having a first aid kit versus like slapping some tape in a cotton bandana. Will it work? Probably. You know, the goal is to get the blood to stop, but you know, get the blood stopped. Like I said, I'm not a trained medical person, so I think as long as I had, you know, an actual first aid kit, you know, they might feel a little bit more comforted by knowing that, hey, this guy has, you know, this guy has a first aid kit. Plus, I can, you know, if you're dealing with shock, you can put the blanket over him for shock, or this blanket over him for shock, because it's got the reflective side. You know, put something under there, over them, keep them warmer, or under them for warmth. So it just depends. So I think that's about it. I didn't go over the candling. It's the same headlamp, you know, Sunblessa, Ugo. Still got these big bandanas. So everything else is pretty much the same. So I thought I would explain a few things and encourage you to comment, you know, where you agree or disagree. It'd be nice to actually have a nice sleeping bag in here. It'd be leagues better. I'd have to find one that would hold my wide size and my wide size, my length, and also be compact enough. I mean, I have a Mormont bag that's 15 degrees that can pack down kind of small, but then I'd have to change to a bigger sleeping a bag, because that bag, sleeping bag, actually takes up a lot of room. So I'm gonna have to switch over. But I have a 100-liter backpack I could use. You know, I could fill that up, and also I'd have a little bit more room in there because it's double what this bag is. I could probably fill it up with a few layers. You know, throw a couple extra, you know, warm clothing in there, change the socks in there, maybe warm gloves, something like that. So, you know, nothing is set in stone. So let me know what you think in the comments. And it's kind of like run over by what I've already talked about, but I wanted to kind of do its own thing and, you know, break it down to a couple videos, do a little bit more explanation, offer to, you know, discuss with you where you think I would be going wrong. Like I said, I do have bottles. I can do switch. I can make changes to the kit if I need to. So anyway, I do thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. And last week's or yesterday's video will be in the description. So.